thank you so much for joining the program. I know that you're very busy this morning, and our prayers to you and to your staff. We're so sorry to hear about this tragedy. Can you tell us more? All we've heard about is that this individual was killed outside of their home, and that's it. Do we have any more information?
I have a lot more information for you. Jamie White was here 7, 8 years, really good friend of mine. He was our best writer. They're all great, but they would recognize he was the most prolific. You couldn't keep him out of here. He worked really 7 days a week. And when he was on vacation, we really missed him. He was the only writer that is actually basically outside the control room. His desk is right through that control room that I'm looking at. I could look through the open door at his desk. And I talked to him every day. I sent him articles. We were constantly on the phone. Really good friend of mine. And I'm in shell shock right now. He was up here Sunday night for the Sunday show we did that I was doing with Chase Geiser and the rest of the crew. I wasn't on air Sunday night. I was up there doing work, so I saw him one last time. And then he went home, and right before midnight, out by his car, he was either shot or stabbed. The police won't tell us. They said the call was a hot shot call, meaning serious wounding, stabbing, or shooting is what they call it. And we were really worried yesterday morning because he works early in the morning, and we were calling him. He wouldn't answer for hours. So one of the writers, who's really good friends with him, went over there, and there was yellow tape and everything. You've seen in the news there had been a murder in the early morning hours. The police got there 2 minutes after a 911 call. Someone seriously wounded. They got him to the hospital in 15, but as they rolled him in, he died. The hospital said right when he died on the table, while they were starting to attend to him. And the crew member, just to give you an idea, said there was just blood everywhere. He could see over the yellow tape. The police came over, said, "We're not going to talk to you." They said, no, we're his friend. He works with us. Showed the cop, obviously, pictures with him. And that person, they hung out a lot. Jamie and his girlfriend, and then Don Salazar, and his wife is also a reporter, but she doesn't work for us, but we work with her. So they were really big friends for years. Don's been here 14 years, and so people were crying up here in the morning, trying to not tell me what was going on. The police had asked them not to say anything until the family was told. Then they told me by 1 o'clock, he's dead. He's the guy that got killed, but we haven't gotten to all the family yet, so we can't talk about it. 4 o'clock, the father and his sister were very close. They said, no, the rest of the family knows. You can now tell people. And so I went on air at about 4 o'clock, did a special report on it, and told people what I knew. After that, we talked to the detectives again.
Secure the bombs.
Mine going out.
10 seconds remaining.
Reconsidered.
Down to 5 seconds. Bomb location secure.
2 feet up and running.
Dread mine out. Dread mine going out. Mine ready to go. Dread mine off.
Setting C4.
Oh, God, man.
Op 4 has located a bomb. You know what to do.
Oh.
4, last stop standing. Friendly victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
And they said they have 2 suspects. That's all they'll tell us. They still aren't going to tell us gun or knife because they, obviously that's part of the investigation. People they talk to, they don't want other people to know.
So there's a crossplay.
They said that they'll be releasing more soon. I'm going to talk to them here as soon as I get off with you.
So if I had it on my PS5 right now, I can technically play with you or whatever.
Seeing immediately that he was one of the few people. A U.S. senator got put on the list. Jack Posobiec got put on it. Jamie White got put on it. We're going back over 2-3 years ago, putting U.S. aid and
Would you be able to
in reports
look that up?
the illegal funding
Because
I
finally got my PS5 in my room. I can fucking
and so you can
Secure the area.
probably play with the game.
Reload! People running that enemies list, one of them American citizen.
Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb.
Was saying, yeah, we're going to come after the U.S. citizens. We'll get you where you live. We obviously have the U.S. citizen leftists going over there and then getting all this training and recruiting people with all this connections, all the passports and money coming back and trying to kill Trump at Mar-a-Lago. So there's a lot coming out of there. It's really NATO attacking America through Ukraine and through that lawless black hole. People are saying that
10 seconds.
Leftist followers from the studio.
5 seconds.
And I got it there, and then they waited and got it.
That's not mine going on.
We
Op
don't
4 has
know
located a
all the
bomb.
details of that. But it's been a crazy crackhead. A lot of
Dread mine.
One friendly operator remaining.
A lot of crime here.
All friendlies were eliminated.
He lets people out of jail that shoot multiple people on 6th Street and kill them. And that's the bar district. And lets them out the
Let me
next
see
day.
right now.
So this guy will not prosecute hardened criminals. He says if they're not white, he says it's all racist. He famously, when the Army sergeant off duty was doing a lift, Black Lives Matter block scene, the anti member points the AK-47 at him.
I'm downloading Siege right
and
now.
then the sergeant shoots him. He had to be pardoned, totally clean shot. You see the guy aim the gun at him and tell him get out. And he defended himself, total legal shoot. The governor had to pardon him. We have the worst person, Jose Garza. So whether
Protect the bombs.
My beautiful evil eye. My evil eye, baby.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it. Seconds. 5 seconds left. Bomb located by Op 4.
Fortified wall! Place device!
We backed out.
Ukraine in the Soros group, or whether it's a criminal, which I tend to think that's probably it because there's a lot of crime. But I mean, who knows? It's just Soros everywhere. This is now.
Do you know how to do it or whatever?
Please go to thealexshowstore.com. We have the great atomic defense, the strongest, greatest, concentrated involvement. I want Hochul indicted. You gotta hand it to
Near a
Adams.
bomb.
He's at least
Destroy
stood
it.
up for years. Never
1 on
supported
4
this.
remaining.
And he said it years ago. That's why they indicted him, the Democrats. He said, "Look, you can have illegal aliens here, and I'm all for that." But he goes, "I'm not for human smugglers with sex slave kids." And he said it again in the last week over and over again. He goes, "Listen, I didn't just do this now.
Diffuser
I've
located.
been saying since I got
Disable
in
it.
3-4 years ago, we got kids getting kidnapped in sex slavery. I want these people arrested. I want the kids saved. I'm not for raping kids." See, he's got a little bit of a soul. I'll bring in
Friendly
illegals,
disable the
let them vote
diffuser.
for me and stuff, but I'm not for raping kids. Just like the deputy head of MS-13 that left 2 years ago and helped roll him up. He said, "Listen, we're working with the CIA, and we have satanic rituals. Here's the president of El Salvador, just told Tucker Carlson, this is last year, MS-13 participates in satanic child sacrifice rituals after he saved the country from the gang takeover." And there's another clip of him at CPAC last year that's even more specific, Soros running the drug gangs, particularly MS-13. So when we put this as a post to X later from the live show, I want to add that in there. Also, when he was in Tucker Studios in Florida, he even elaborated, but this is the clip the crew got on the Satanism. It gets into it some, but now that I think about it, there's even better clips of him specifically on the history, but here it is.
MS-13 is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic.
That was my question. So very little.
sorry.
No. But I hope you will explain it because very little has been written in the West about this.
They're satanic, yes.
But actually, literally, can you explain?
Well, we didn't start as a satanic organization. MS-13 started in Los Angeles, in the U.S.
10 seconds to insertion.
because Salvadorans weren't allowed to sell drugs
5 seconds to
by
go.
the Mexican gangs.
A bomb must be located and defused. The diffuser is no longer in your possession. The diffuser has been recovered.
Dropping into a yard.
What?
Throwing frag grenade. Laying down some cover. Swapping.
You
So
located
they
the bomb.
created a gang. That was called 18th Street Gang because they basically wanted to sell drugs in a street, that was 18th Street over there. But then division started to create. They started.
It says, "I generally, its main mission is follow the Constitution, work hard, defend the nation, make the country great, be totally honest, and radical transparency." Well, it's not radical to have Trump's federal agency that they just simply repurposed see who actually works. And you have the Defense Department saying, "Oh, that's our job," and the FBI, "Guys, you're here for a revolution." And Musk has been clear. When they don't respond, we create a list. If it doesn't respond, to hand it to the agency head and say, hey, we'll be back in a month. These people aren't responding. Find out if this person works for us. You know you're going to find a bunch of people. You'll always hear about some professor that's been a professor somewhere for 20 years, doesn't even have a college degree. Or you'll hear about a doctor, you hear about all the time, or a doctor that's done hundreds or thousands of surgeries.
Eliminated all friendly.
You're going to find that here. You're going to find a bunch of people that don't even work for the government, get money, saying they work there. You hear about it all the time in Europe and here as well. There'll be some 25-year-old illegal alien in, who says he's a junior in high school. It's a joke. They know all about you when you fly on an airplane or go get a job, but we don't know anything about the people in the government. It's out of control. Now, that's one of the big stories. Even bigger one's coming in a moment, but oh boy, Trump's going to be mad at Elon. Oh, Elon's going to crash the government. Oh, the government's going to fall. Trump's government's going to fall within 1 month. The talking point from Carville and the rest of them.
Locate a bomb.
And I said at the start of the show, I said I would expect the first press conference Trump gives, and I saw it was Macron. I said, it'll be Macron. He's going to sit there and say, this is to find out if you got a pulse. This is to find out if you even exist. Because with Musk and Trump, they meet multiple times a day. They're on the phone dozens of times a day. They both only sleep a few hours a night. If they do, they are two peas in a pod.
Shit, man.
When you get two maniacs, in a good way, together, that's when you get the fireworks.
5 seconds.
And that is happening right now.
Your mission is to locate and defuse a bomb. The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Oh, okay.
And again, when I do this every day, all day long, some stuff's hard to predict. Other stuff's really easy to predict. But I just keep telling you what's going to happen next, because some people understand I'm simpatico with Trump and Musk on almost every issue. We have the same philosophy. We do the same research. We have the same goals. And I'll tell you what's beautiful is, I just think, what would I do? What would I be doing? And we're so synced up that without even talking frequently, we're not missing a beat. So, and it's also like jazz, like I'll figure out something else, an angle, I'll put it out, boom, word for word, a few days later, they're doing it. I see something they're doing that's better than I thought of, I start pushing it, so everybody else pick it up. I mean, this is badass. This is a real revolution because Trump and Musk don't want to blow the planet up. They don't want to lose all their wealth. They don't want their kids and future grandkids, in the case of Elon, to inherit a smoldering hellscape.
What the fuck?
So the globalist motive for total domination and mad scientist hell world is the motivation for demons and sickos and a demonic cult. That is not the goal of normal people, and it's not been normal to have these abnormal globalist cultist death cult operators running things. So here's President Trump. Here it is.
We need to locate a bomb.
Communications, there was that email telling employees to give 5 things that they've done last week. Agency has then told people to ignore it.
You're talking about the last email that was sent where he wanted to know what you did this week. You know why he wanted that, by the way? I thought it was great. Because we have people that don't show up to work and nobody even knows if they work for the government. So by asking the question, tell us what you did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working And then if you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired, because a lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist. They're trying to find. That's how badly various parts of our government were run by an especially.
Your mission is to locate and defuse a bomb.
Swapping mags!
Fucking gay.
Reloading! Drone's up and running. I'm reloading!
The diffuser is no longer in your possession. Down to one friendly. All friendlies have been eliminated.
By this last group. So what they're doing is they're trying to find out who's working for the government. Are we paying other people that aren't working? And, you know, where's all that? Where's the money gone? We have found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud so far. And we've just started. We're actually going to Fort Knox to see if the gold is there. Because maybe somebody stole the gold. Tons of gold. So I think it was actually, there was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working. And so we're sending a letter to people. Please tell us what you did last week. If people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
How incredible is all of this? Wow. Okay. Now, the news I covered in the last 20 minutes of last hour perfectly dovetails with what's just now breaking. Let me do a recap of what we covered earlier, and then I'll get to the new news, because it all goes together. And that's what I do, is I synergistically show you the philosophy of the death cult. Doge is now releasing non-classified public information that should be public from the National Security Agency, from their DEI office.
Oh,
and it is the most hardcore, pervert, pedophilic crap. Now, I'm going to explain how this works, and this is key in a moment. But first, let's go back to the last big breakdown. I won't play the videos again. If you're watching this and want to see it, last hour, archive text, just see the report on Maduro goes public, says Biden was running the drug gangs, brought them into their country, protected them. And I already know that's true. I don't just believe Maduro. These vicious drug gangs, the whole history of the CIA. Look at this. Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro claims Biden moved the deadly Tren de Agua into the U.S. No, they didn't protect them. And when they would get busted by locals and released, Biden wouldn't deport them. Then I played the president of El Salvador explaining what's already on record. MS-13, CIA, the Clintons, Los Angeles, sent them down there to recruit and then use them as muscle all over the world. And you remember the CIA creating the crack epidemic and the formula to make crack, the recipe. That's all came out in Congress in '98 and hearings on the CIA. Here's the New York Times admitting it, how labeling cartels terrorists could hurt the U.S. economy. We need that laundered money. That was just a few weeks ago saying, oh, Trump, don't declare him terrorist. He did. Because Trump's really shutting it down. Then you've got the Maduro video I mentioned where he says it in English, what I just told you. Then you've got how the U.S. helped create El Salvador's bloody gang war. That's from 5 years ago. Even the London Guardian admits it. And now that leads us to this, the NSA's secret sex chats. Now, why did I just cover all that? Because it's been known for 20 plus years that MS-13 does satanic rituals with innocent kidnapped children where they rape them and cut their hearts out for Satan as the initiation. And they got that from the CIA in Los Angeles. That's a test to see, will you do horrible things? What is the CIA, MI6, Mossad? What do? Rape kids to get in their club. It's to see what you'll do and to absolutely have complete dirt on you. And spiritually, it's a spiritual war to remove God from your life. Any Holy Spirit, it'll be gone. Ultimate sin. You've hurt a child on purpose for Satan. You're now lost and you actually lose your soul, the Bible says, while you're still alive on earth. No chance God can ever get back into you. That's who they want, is a completely lost, satanic, demon-possessed zombie creature.
We need to locate a bomb.
This is a program of mind control. You go back to the ancient sex cults all over the world. Sacrifice, rape and sacrifice children because something spiritual happens
Drone
when
has located
you
a bomb.
do that. Yes, CIA staffers committed sex crimes against children, but weren't prosecuted, report says. That's even a whitewash. The CIA in Afghanistan would only hire pedophiles to be mayors of towns, they put in. The CIA, from the 60s until the 2000s, kidnapped over 30,000 children with the German government, West German government at the time, and
10
put them with
seconds.
convicted pedophiles to create a new civilization, a new society.
5 seconds before insertion. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
Oh.
Drone ready.
Loading new mag.
Holy fuck.
Reload! Someone shooting. I'm reloading. Flash offline.
Op 4 last operator standing. Op 4 eliminated.
If you're a new viewer, just type in 30,000 children placed by German foster care with convicted pedophiles. You'll get New Yorker Magazine, Der Spiegel. And it's much worse than even what's in there, but everything I said is in there. And when it started coming out in the mid-2000s, people were like 25, 30 years old, and they found little kids still in there. They said, yeah, I was placed in 3 with a convicted pedophile. He raped me over and over again. By 7, I would go to Catholic churches and other churches at night, and I would be gang raped by Satanists. Now, what is this? It's mind control. The German experiment that placed foster children with pedophiles. But you read deeper, CIA, MK Ultra, MK Naomi. DW.com, 30,000 children placed with convicted pedophiles. This is who you're signing on to with the Democratic Party and the globalist system. And some Republicans have been involved, like Dennis Hastert and all the rest of them. Remember that one Democrat congressman? He had that 3-story condo full of like 14, 15-year-old boys. They were sex running. Barney Frank, and they were bringing it out, and he yelled on the House floor, and he said, "You don't shut down this FBI investigation, I will expose what all of you are doing far worse." And they ended that investigation that day and dropped the charges publicly. What was that, like 15, 16 years ago? Probably find it on C-SPAN. Type in video, Barney Frank says you better drop the investigation of me.
5 seconds. A bomb must be located and defused.
Don't know what you're doing.
Let's see them hide now.
Bomb has been located.
Setting up recon drone.
Op 4 last operator standing. Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
No.
Pentagon workers found to have downloaded child pornography. Up to half their computers had it on it. How they take over the Vatican? Pedophile rings. How they take over the Boy Scouts? Pedophile rings. And then once the pedophiles are in the computers, they'll put it on innocent people's computers and say, work with us on other things, we'll leave you alone. I had the deep state plant child porn on us, remember, a few years ago. Gets planted in emails sent to us about Sandy Hook.
Locate a bomb.
Attacking us. We never open it. They specifically asked for all mail, including not opened. They get it. The images weren't even visible. They were hidden links. The metadata, they get it. Headline, Alex Jones sent child porn to Sandy Hook families. But the FBI gave us a letter saying, no, you're the victim of this, to their credit. But they still ran the headline everywhere. When I was in the show trial in Connecticut, he still said in front of the jury, you sent child porn to the Sandy Hook people. I went, no, somebody sent it to me and it was unopened. And you know that. I wonder who sent it to me.
10 seconds.
Gee, I wonder.
5 seconds before insertion. A bomb must be located and defused.
Swapping mags.
Drone activated.
Setting up my replicator.
Shite.
You must recover the diffuser.
I see you lurking.
You located a bomb.
Deployed.
Op 4 last stop standing. The diffuser is now secured. Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
He knows, like, threatening me, we're gonna kill you, all this stuff. 2 weeks after I got sued. Planting those little Easter eggs for us, huh? So, now we've got this information. And it's going to get a lot worse. The NSA's secret sex chats. And when I was looking at this earlier, I didn't even know what some of these words are. But then I've heard of these fetishes, but I didn't know the name of them. This is where you cut your arms and legs off. Of course, what do you think cutting your penis off is? It's about self-harm. But no, these are arms, legs, fingers, minor attracted, pedophilia. And it's the NSA's Office of DEI chat room, and it's encouraged at the National Security Agency to have people get in there and talk about gangbangs, a bunch of other sex where you crap on each other, where you brutalize people, beating people. It's Satanism.
Secure the area. Keep the
And
bombs
the
protected.
Office of DEI in every government system, state, local, corporate, you name it, is a cult through HR where, oh, if a guy asks a girl out in the coffee room, he'll get fired. That's rape. You see the Gillette ad where the guy goes asks a girl out and the guy goes, whoa, you don't talk to a woman. That's rape.
Be advised, the bomb location has been compromised.
But if you're drag queen story time, the convicted pedophile not telling parents have a 5-year-old bounce on a man in a clown outfit's erection, literally, you know, with a bulge in their pants. The women go and put their kids on top of the man, and the man lays there and wallows in this
10 seconds
pedophilic
remaining.
ritual. They all get off on it. All mass grooming, you know, the San Francisco Choir, we're coming for your children, we'll groom them, we're going to have them, you won't stop us, you're going to love it, we're going to love it.
Get ready to
Join us.
engage.
Reloading! Needles in position. Loading new magazine.
One Op 4 remaining. Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
You know, going after children. And Cartoon Network with stuff with Baphomet and Moloch having children brought to them. And yeah, the new Hellraiser where it's a transgender man to woman who then goes around cutting men's penises off. And you read this, NASA's secret sex chats that's now broke today, and Doge is just releasing it all. They're in there literally talking about eating crap, things I had to look up. One popular chat topic was male to female transgender surgery, which involves surgically removing the penis and turning it into an artificial vagina. These male intelligence agents love the feeling of penetration and of peeing with their pseudo vaginas. This is the lightweight stuff. And let me spell something right now. People think Joe Rogan on Spotify, when he did a deal with them 4 years ago, took my episodes down, and Gab McGinnis and others. No, he told me privately, and then he didn't say I couldn't talk about it, but later it came out. It was a blip in the news, but he told me about it. Spotify is owned and run out of Sweden. The technical systems are there. But in New York, the advertising, the systems, the media is run, and it's over half transgender. The entire management's transgender. It's a cult. You don't get into it unless you're man to woman. And when Joe had me on, they had a total rebellion, went completely crazy, and were sabotaging and sabotaging his other shows, reportedly smashed equipment. People were defecating and smearing it on the walls in New York, and just had a giant insane asylum free-for-all. And that's why he's now left Spotify. It's not as exclusive, so that because he left YouTube because of censorship and went there, and then it went right into a nest of psychotic trannies. I mean, it's like big, fat, bald men with wigs on hormones, and you know what's on their computers. And I mean, it is just a solid wall of psychos. You think the guy, the former convict, 6'5", it's ma'am. And he's obviously a dude. He's like, I'm sorry, okay, ma'am. This is par for the course.
Oh, God.
All these transgenders raping little kids in the bathrooms. And then Obama trying to cover it up. It's a cult.
Nothing.
So for MS-13 or these others, you got to be a Satanist and rape little kids. But the left here is more sophisticated. If they called it Satanism, hey, we're going to chop your son's penis off, your daughter's breast off. We're going to cut your daughter's forearms off and make a fake penis that rots as a PVC tube up into her bladder. And these things all rot and fall off. I mean, just totally psycho. I mean, you watch a Hellraiser, it's like, oh, this doesn't make sense. No, that's what they're into. This is Hellraiser. This is their fetishes. And you read these NSA documents, it is Hellraiser. The agency put an enormous amount of trust in people allowed to use government systems. This is an expectation for full compliance with all the laws and policies clearly posted on all those systems. We are continuing to look at this issue. We are taking action against any and all employees who abuse this system. So they use the secret NSA communication database, but they would also publish it themselves on their blogs and then not get in trouble, of the most sickening, disgusting stuff you've ever heard of. Well, at least we know what they did last week, said Elon Musk, crying. Chris Rufo reveals that members of our intelligence community have used a work-only chat server to talk about fetishes, self-castration, getting my butthole zapped by a laser. These are quotes. All the people of the NSA leadership who affirm these conversations. We like this. According to the sources, the sex chats were legitimized as part of the NSA's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Activists in the agency.
You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Arson Drive.
Changing mag!
You must recover the diffuser. The diffuser is now secured. Drop the diffuser. One friendly operator remaining. Op 4 last operator standing.
He's bedroom in there. Yeah.
Seconds remaining. 10 seconds.
You got stuns.
5 seconds. You're out of time.
Use LGBTQ employee resource groups to turn their kinks and pathologies into official work charge, folks. According to the current NSA employee, these groups spend all day recruiting activists and holding meetings with titles such as Privileged Ally, Awareness Pride, Transgender Community Inclusion, and they did so with the full support of NSA leadership, which declared that DEI was not only mission critical, but mission imperative.
Need to use your drone to locate a bomb.
Imperative. Remember the freaks at Space Command, the deputy commander. The most important thing is that a woman.
They got log Twitch.
They obtained the log.
Oh, we don't know what the fuck is saying, girl.
NSA, CIA, and DIA employees discuss genital castration, artificial vaginas, piss fetishes,
Your
sex,
drone has found a bomb.
polycules, and gangbangs, all in government time.
Yeah, no, I message.
And it goes on and
10
on
seconds to insertion.
and on. So that's
5 seconds before insertion.
No, don't keep going.
Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
Yo, Coco Loto, where you from?
Oh, what do you mean, son?
Joe! She's from America.
Setting up a sequential breach.
Yeah.
Really?
Fighter! Drone activated.
Grenade out. Changing mag.
Make room! Changing mags.
Just plant that.
Op 4 last stop. Bomb diffusion initiated. Protect the diffuser.
Activating drone.
Op 4 eliminated.
The NSA secret sex chats pervert world. And they're coming for your kids. They mean business, and they only recruit in their own people. And if you will cut your penis off because you want to be trendy, you'll do anything. Just like the CIA running the child kidnapping and pedophilia operations. It's a cult of evil, concentrating all their demons together for their assault on us. It's very simple. We need the money to keep this going. Always up here till 6 or 7. I was working at home last night at midnight, putting reports out. You saw it. And because this is too important, we fought too long and too hard to get to this point. And I have this giant audience of activists, you out there, that are so precious.
To locate a
But
bomb.
think about how precious you are in getting this information out. I just covered the last 30 minutes. That'll be cut out of the show and posted to X in the next few hours. If you don't promote it, it'll get 10 million views probably. On the main show, probably 10 million watch me then. At that, that 30 minutes. I don't want 12 million people to see what we just did.
I am the
charm. When you get excited, that's what happens. But it's like electricity. I need.
That call me that shit.
What'd you say?
Just call me that shit.
Shut up, nigga. Go buy a better mic.
Before, why didn't you tell us? He goes, because I was waiting for you.
You are using your Xbox Connect mic?
You said what? Did you heard me, nigga? Go buy a better mic.
Yo, why that saying anymore, bro? Stop.
Damn, bro, you right, Mark. Wait, you right.
What he said, I came here. I don't understand this nigga.
He said my white hat.
Bro, that dude needs to get a job, bro.
Nigga, you ain't checked the corner, my nigga?
Like you checking that corner, bro.
Slum, how,
Hey, shut your lame ass up, bro.
how are you gonna go around the corner and not check it?
You're not checking that corner either, bro. Like,
You gonna look to your left, bro.
You take this game way too serious, bro. That ass, bro. Shut up.
You ass, nigga. Just like your mic.
You serious, bro.
What you want a game for, nigga? Ain't shit fun, nigga. Go get some bread, nigga.
Oh my god, bro. You're a cornball.
Diffuser is no longer in your
You're
possession.
actually.
Fuck, bro.
You're a cornball, bro.
Oh, you ass, nigga. I'm a cornball, you shitty.
Go play quick match or something, man.
Nigga, on 3 turn around corner, nigga. You ass.
We got arcade too.
Are you controller? Bro, aim higher, bro. Ah, damn.
Yo, bro, you gonna tell this nigga to aim high, you only got a kill.
Oh, bro, you're dead. Close left, bro.
4 remaining. The diffuser has been secured.
Right.
The diffuser has been recovered. You have dropped the diffuser. We have been eliminated.
Sorry, a lot of this mic was in my ear.
I said right, bro. You just didn't react, bro. I mean, like,
I didn't believe you. I'm be honest.
I believe you. Well, you
I couldn't hear.
That's what you cannot, bro.
Hey, leave me alone, okay?
That ass is not.
Come on, nigga, you guys are your kills. Nah, no hate though. Just go play arcade though. For real. You have more fun. You don't gotta try. You know.
You're right.
You already got zero kills. Arcade, you have fun and shit.
Oh, bro. Let me check okay, bro. That shit might be ass.
Nah.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Evil eye deployed. Impact. Evil eye in place.
Op 4 has found a bomb.
Evil eye deployed. Loading new magazine.
Seconds to insertion. 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Wall fortifications done!
Construction window.
I ain't alive, not in this shit.
One friendly remaining. Op 4, last stop standing.
What's wrong?
Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Nice try.
What happened, dog?
His legs, I think.
Damn, dude, why are you so angry, dog? You can't be so angry.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Nah, that nigga said you ass.
10 seconds left.
Bro, how does it affect my legacy?
5 seconds.
Exactly.
Deploying jammer.
Bomb locations are secure.
What'd you say, Coco? Oh!
What you say?
I said what you said. I don't know what you said before. You said some shit about your legacy.
Where?
One of the guys.
말보다는 행동이지. 너무 조용하군.
Initiating jammer.
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it.
오케이.
They got a big wall. Your Ash is in from window. Nice. The fuck? They're hopping in window. Jim.
Behind you, construction. One in construction.
One Op 4 remaining.
Nice.
Op 4 eliminated.
Coco, good job!
Oh shit, Coco. Nice.
Like that.
Yeah, finally you did something. Ass nigga.
You're right. Dude acting like he never done that before.
And the rest of it. I like
I can just tell from what you saw you done that before.
work, but my now are everywhere.
Nah, I never did bad.
As I am.
Never did bad, bro?
Nah, I never did bad.
Sound like that Aki way,
Federal
dude.
Reserve's private and runs a
Nah, I sound like the Aki way.
is the key group.
Which one? What you gotta pick, bro? That nigga not wait. You called me wait before.
It's all true, and we've known
Nah,
that, but
I did. I know. But like, you sound like that Aki way, dude.
So
Protect the bomb.
Never, never, never.
Never. That shit's too funny.
Got us a new drone.
Alright, you go ahead.
Placing my evil eye.
Major wire deployed.
Doorway barricaded.
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds and counting.
Evil eye deployed.
Keep an eye out for Op 4 attempting to defuse your bomb. A bomb has been located by Op 4.
Wall fortifications done.
It's shooting for that.
Barricade. Loading mag.
Are they here?
They suck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You guys got this team.
Changing mags!
One friendly operator remaining. The bomb diffuser is deployed. Op 4 last stop standing.
Oh, he's right there. Oh.
Friendlies have been neutralized.
Good try.
Because, you know, I like Bongino a lot. And he's really smart in a lot of ways, but I've seen him like, who knew they had the CIA running disinformation against the first Trump administration? And who knew they were using
Fucking
USAID to fund it?
incredible.
That's been going on for 30, 40 years. I mean, yeah, and it's just very frustrating to have the knowledge base that's so easy to have and to have the blind spots with some of these guys because, you know, they're busy in what they do. I'm not saying they're bad. I just, the more I look at Kosh Patel, I'm like, this guy knows everything. That's got to scare the living hell out of him. And Bongino's strong and will fight hard and has a lot of courage. He's great. I'm not.
Damn, dude, you
lessening
rage
him,
quitting already,
but-
dog?
You know, Trump didn't know this stuff 8 years ago. Now he knows.
Yo,
about
why are you yelling at me, dog?
Oh, RFK Jr. knows all about it. He knows everything. That's why I was getting pissed at Rogan 7, 8 years ago and blew up at him because I've known Joe since 1998, been friends since 99, good friends. And I mean, Joe knows all this, every bit of it. Every bit of it. He knows as much as I do. And I'm like, hey, dude, you're kind of joining the dark side. You're kind of playing footsie with those leftist professors that we know are really spooks. I was mean to him. I said, listen, you keep doing that. Come after you. And that kind of got him to wake up some and think about what he was doing. But then them messing with him, because they've been messing with him before, and I guess he tried to, okay, well, I'll be friendly. Not because he's a coward. No, he's not. Just because he didn't want to, rock the boat. Then they mess with Joe. Ooh, that didn't work out too good. And you mess with Trump, too. How'd that work out? You mess with me. How'd that work out? I just want men that I know that are men to be men. And I mean, Joe's a badass for real. I mean, the real world. He's a tough guy. And all I ask is for people to do is face the facts and join me. All right, let's just stop right there. Let me do this, and then I'm going to hit all this news. I've been trying to do an update on what's happening in InfoWars for like a month. And now the update's like an hour long. It's like a documentary. It isn't like one, it is. And more's happened the last few days, and I got to add more today. I got to get it out in the next few days. But the bad guys, the Justice Department, that's now really in trouble because the good guys are coming in, did a bunch of illegal stuff. You know about a lot of it. There's a lot you don't know about. And the stuff I'm going to release, I've had to get reviewed by lawyers, obviously. Because, I mean, this is going to be big news. And then more keeps coming out. And it is, and of course, I do what I want at the end of the day, but I listen to my lawyers. But it's bad. But one of the little things they did, it's horrible, but it's little compared to everything else.
What are you doing?
Well, say we were shut down and say that InfoWarsStore.com was owned by them back in November, and that killed sales over 70%. Well, we had the Alex Jones store set up, so people swung over.
He knew, yet they allowed him to.
And then now they got caught in more stuff.
Fingerprints are nowhere.
please go to thealexshowstore.com. We have the great atomic defense, the strongest, greatest, concentrated of all the known herbs and compounds to boost your immune system. Everybody should be on it, especially this time of year. Boost your immune system, thealexshowstore.com.
The silent majority is no longer silent. This is the War Room with Owen Schroyer. Please stand by for further details.
So we've got that. We'll give you an update. Again, all of this is publicly available. You can print out the contracts for yourself when you go to the official Doge website.
5 seconds
It's
before
all right there.
insertion.
And then the Democrats and their...
Your mission is to locate and defuse a bomb.
Drone activated.
You cannot
Mindset.
do this, dog.
That's on scene. A bomb.
Shut your cunt mouth.
If you want to try and plant,
You have dropped the diffuser.
Where shot the flame dart? No, he's inside, never. Oh, I got him.
You don't know me, dog. You don't know me.
Op 4 last stop standing. Diffuser is online and active.
Grabbing cams.
Torch ready.
Do we know where he is?
Black stairs.
Op 4
Good call.
neutralized.
Propaganda agents and media just go say, oh no, there's no transparency. We don't know what's going on. And then Democrat judges continue to block Doge's access from certain records. So it's either a stalling technique, a delay technique to maybe just act as an obstacle. Maybe they're in there trying to hide stuff. They just can't help themselves. They just want to get in the way of everything. But that continues. But now, really, the success for Doge has been undeniable. So now other states are saying, maybe we need our own Doge. Maybe we need Doge at a state level. Maybe we need to check out what's going on at a state level. It's already been proposed in Florida officially by the governor. So see, that's how you know DeSantis isn't corrupt. And there's some weird infighting going on. Seems like every political cycle with Ron DeSantis. But nonetheless, he's the governor saying, hey, we should do oversight here. This is good stuff. We're getting good results. I like this. So, you know, he's not corrupt. And then there's the state of California, which probably needs government efficiency more than any. And, of course, the Democrats that run that state are saying, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So we'll get into all of that, including some big announcements from Donald Trump over the weekend, big economic
10 seconds to
announcements. And then, of course, with his team being put in place now, Kash Patel at the FBI, Trump makes another big announcement.
You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Torch is ready.
Dude, this is fucking sick.
Good pings.
They have a frost, be careful. I destroyed 2 mats.
Castle's in kitchen.
Is the one I'm paying? Good pings.
Deploying drone.
Exit time!
Watch.
No longer in your possession.
You gotta be joking me.
One op 4 remaining.
Top black, top black.
Operator standing.
Top black.
15 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. All friendlies have been eliminated.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Deputy director. Sure, you've heard about that. We're gonna revisit something from last
Oh.
week that I think is worth revisiting because it just shows how crazy things have really gotten in our government. Just complete insanity. Dealing with some of these people. So we're gonna revisit something. Then I got some geopolitical news and some other odds and ends here. But think about this.
Nice, dude.
Macron, president of France, comes to D.C., White House today.
Use your
He's
drone.
throwing it up with Donald. They seem to be pretty good friends. And I'm going to go to some of these clips. He basically makes it official that he's going to Fort Knox, and he's going to take a camera crew with him. I'm sure he'll invite all the media. So there'll be all kinds of cameras. They're going to go to Fort Knox. They're going to show America what's in the
Cav.
or not. And he even said it. He even said, we're going to see if it's been stolen.
Insertion in 10
Interesting
seconds.
stuff. Interesting stuff.
They're the far side, second floor, whatever room.
Of the United States.
Your mission is to locate and defuse a bomb.
Drone is ready to go.
You have located a bomb.
Legion's holding hallway on fire.
Adrenaline surge.
No, no, no.
Top of stairs.
You must recover the diffuser.
Oh my god, I got destroyed.
Shut up, bitch.
Getting cam.
Listen to my goddamn music, not your fucking bitching. Is it on to Hogwarts, then?
We have been eliminated.
That was a good ping on Cade, I just threw it.
The Cav just two-shot me. That's my bad.
Monkey for us defense is easier.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Legion knew I was there, he just heard the alarm and looked away.
Op 4 located the bomb. Protect it.
Loading new magazine.
10 seconds remaining.
You want to rotate there or no?
5 seconds and counting.
I was gonna block it so they can't come in through the window.
Good, do it. Go for it. Go for it.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Just going to drone this. Got it up here. Camera ready to activate. Now you see me? Now you don't.
Oh. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. Mute, you've got two. One's on balcony, one's on walkway.
Dragon window? I have a DMR of some sorts.
Probably Doke. They're droning.
Something like 417 says line twitch, something like that.
Diffuser on porch.
Yokai's on it.
Op 4, last operator standing.
fucking incredible, dude.
Seconds. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left.
Do not get off your drone, Echo.
You've reached the time
Say
limit.
something like that. Pretty shocking, actually.
Why'd you say that?
Pretty.
I may have been in your face.
And is this the clip where he says that?
I probably would have TK'd you.
I'm not sure which clip.
You'll regret that.
I've got the Trump clips here. I'm not sure which one he says. It doesn't say on my list which one he says. We're going to go see the gold. So we'll find that, or maybe it's in one of these clips. Let's start going to Trump with Macron at the White House. Here he is talking about that infamous email that requested for people to respond with what they have.
Protect the bombs.
Reinforce the wall! Reload! Loading new mag!
Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Changing mag!
Op 4 has located a bomb.
Prepping needle. Changing mag!
Calibrating air compression.
Oh, s- .215 ping.
Someone just ran upstairs, right? Am I tripping?
Not that I see.
Main wall.
Oh. What a bomber clot Ross ting, dog.
So window's still up?
On 4 ping. On double, right side of double door.
Pushing your door, Echo. Someone in the far room too. Yo, just play time, play time. Both of them are on office stairs, you got this. One left at 0.
Which is better?
That first shot whiffed and I got scared.
Accomplished or what they've done this week, he kind of reveals the true purpose behind it here in clip 1.
Do you think that Doge could benefit from more streamlined communications? There was that email telling employees to give 5 things that they've done last week. Agency heads then told people to ignore it.
You're talking about the last email that was sent where he wanted to know what you did this week. You know why he wanted that, by the way? I thought it was great. Because we have people that don't show up to work and nobody even knows if they work for the government. So by asking the question, tell us what you did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working? And then if you don't answer, like, you're
Secure the bombs. Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
I pray to God they don't take fuse.
4 drones destroyed.
Dibs on the hot tub.
Seconds to insertion. 5 seconds and counting. Op 4 has located the bomb.
Why reinforcements in place?
Oh. Oh no, you gotta fucking win.
Rick, we have a doc to stim you. That's a foos.
Ash 5.
Gotta fucking chill,
Doc?
Both of you guys down.
Turn on mincers.
Aurora hit hard. There's 3 in that hallway on 5.
Op 4, last stop standing. Op
GG's.
4 eliminated.
Good shit.
Successful.
sort of semi-fired or you're fired, because a lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist. They're trying to, that's how badly various parts of our government were run by, and especially by this last group. So what they're doing is they're trying to find out who's working for the government. Are we paying other people that aren't working? And, you know, where's all this? Where's the money going? We have found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud so far. And we've just started. We're actually going to Fort Knox to see if the gold is there. Because maybe somebody sold the gold. Tons of gold. So I think it was actually, There was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working. And so we're sending a letter to people. Please tell us what you did last week. If people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
So he briefly addresses the Fort Knox thing. We'll revisit that in a second. It's kind of a big deal. President Trump says, hey, you know, maybe they've robbed the gold from Fort Knox. And again, this is why I listen to talk radio, because it's like if you get 100 callers, one of the callers is going to be like, give incredible intel that you'll never get. So somebody that actually works at Fort Knox called into a talk radio show I was listening to this morning. I don't even remember which one. I'm just scanning the dial like a crazed person. Just so happened to catch it. And she's like, yeah, well, you know, me and my husband have both been working there for decades, and it's kind of a well-known but good-kept secret in the small town where Fort Knox is at that nobody actually knows what's in it. It's like even the people, it's like nobody knows. Nobody has any clue what's actually going on in there. Huh. Now, does Trump know something? Or is it just, let's just find out together? Let's just find out what's really going on. Is it a conspiracy theory that the gold is actually gone, or is it actually gone? And, you know, all eyes on Fort Knox, let's say, in that small town, all eyes on Fort Knox now. If anybody did
Yo, dog, what the
rob
fuck
the gold,
is this?
okay, what are they going to do? If it's sitting there, then it's all fine and good. But, if there's something else going on, I would imagine there's some panic. But who knows where it could be? You know, they robbed the gold off the tops of the Egyptian pyramids. Probably all under the Vatican or something. But all jokes aside, they're going to Fort Knox. It feels like it'll be something that kind of happens on a whim. They'll have to do some sort of an announcement with the White House press pool and the official White House presidential movements. But it feels like it'll kind of just be like, oh, we're just doing it right now. I don't know if there's going to be some announcement of a date and then a buildup. To me, it seems like Trump's just going to be like, okay, let's do it Thursday. Boop, we're going over there Thursday. But okay, so time will tell. Getting back to the email. He just told it what it was really about. And you had all these government officials freaking out, and as always, the Democrats freaking out. I mean, if Trump goes to drink a glass of water, they freak out. Oh, is Trump sick? He's drinking water. Oh, he's dehydrated. And maybe it's even worth talking about his golf game as well, actually. But it's a simple email to see if you're there. It's like checking in homeroom in high school. Like, they read the list of names and they find out who's in class that day. That's basically all it is. And you have all these people freaking out. It's a simple email to see if you're even showing up to class. It's a head count. If you respond to the email, okay, what did you do this week? Literally,
already with the fucking TNT, dude.
Times and got coffee 5 times, and I sent 10 emails. You're like, okay, that'll probably be it.
Oh,
You're present. You're actually present. You're physically present in some way, shape, or form to respond to this email. But if they send out all these emails and people just don't respond, they're going to say, okay, they're not present, fire them. So that's what Trump is saying. He's saying, if they don't respond to emails, then we're going to assume they're not there, they're fired. Now, if they do respond and maybe we don't get an adequate response, then maybe there's something else we do in kind of a holding pattern. But if you respond and you say what you've done, then you'll be fine. You're present, you're in class, you're active, okay. Why wouldn't you do that? It's the same thing. The same reason why they panic over USAID, because they're the ones stealing the money. The same reason why they don't want there to be a head count at the beginning of the school day, because they're the ones skipping class. It's the same reason. They're the ones that have these cushy government jobs that they don't even work, they don't even show up, they get a free paycheck.
It's going to be a big-ass cash.
USAID. So of course they don't want any oversight. Of course they don't want any accountability. And that's what it is. Now, maybe maybe we should wait and play this clip when he's talking about the Ukraine war and some of the geopolitics, and then him and Macron just having a bro moment. It's all very important, but let's talk about. Well, no, you know what? Let's actually go to that, and then we'll talk about what's happening in the administration next. So here's Trump talking about the war in Ukraine, getting it done soon. A peace deal, clip 4.
I think the war could end soon. Within weeks. Yeah, I think so. Right? Don't you think so? I'd like to have you. I think we could end it within weeks if we're smart. If we're not smart, it'll keep going, and we'll keep losing young, beautiful people that shouldn't be dying. And we don't want that. And remember what I said. This could escalate into a third world war. And we don't want that either.
Now, Zelensky's kind of been a little bit panicked, I would say, is fair. It's fair to say he's been a little bit panicked. He's kind of been flopping like a fish out of water recently. Now he's making all kinds of offers, saying, I'll resign as president if you let Ukraine join NATO. Well, you have no leverage. You're not a legitimate president. And that's the whole problem, is Ukraine joining NATO, and nobody wants you as president anyway, so that deal's not going to get anywhere. There were a couple other concessions that he offered, but these are all unofficial, and nobody's listening to him anymore anyway. Now it's just a matter of how they're going to get him out. That's really the discussions that are being had now with world leaders, is how do we get Zelensky out? So they're demanding election.
Totally got rid of the water,
but
dog.
he's saying no election. Now, he's completely illegitimate. Trump said it right. The only dictator here is Zelensky, not Putin. So that's just Trump being honest. And the media hates it when he says that. The lying media and the corrupt bureaucrats and the corrupt deep state and military-industrial complex, and congressmen and women, they all hate that because it's true. Now, you don't have to like Putin. Putin was elected. Zelensky is not. Zelensky's term ended years ago. Zelensky's emergency orders to remain president in a time of war ended, I think, like a year ago now, too. It's definitely been months, but I think it's a year now. He is totally illegitimate. He is a dictator. Putin wins elections and stays president. But they have all these different narratives, and if Putin is actually an elected president and popular in Russia, well, that kind of hurts their false narratives about how Ukraine and Zelensky's the good guy. So Zelensky's throwing everything out there trying to get something to stick. But now the real discussions being had are, how do we just get rid of it? Now, if you're, in the past, a Hillary Clinton type would just say, he's waiting for Zelensky to realize and think about it. The whole plan for Zelensky was to escape to France. Well, who was at the White House today? Oh, that's right, the president of France, who's really good friends with Donald Trump, who were broing it out in the Oval Office today. Yeah. Zelensky's out of options, folks. He's got his bubble of oligarchs in Kiev, and that's it. Everyone else is sick of this guy. He is a dictator. The narrative is now changed thanks to Donald Trump. People are telling the truth. So the discussions are, how do you get rid of Zelensky? He's standing in the way of peace. Trump offers him a handout, an olive branch, and says, we've invested hundreds of billions of dollars. You admitted most of it's gone. So we want a little bit of a return on that investment, and we can come to a peace deal, and maybe, just maybe, we can keep some of the integrity of your nation as far as the borders and the land are concerned, and the other resources. So, but you're going to have to cut a deal with me. You're going to have to give us some of those resources. You're going to let us have to come in there and get some of this manufacturing back up and running.
I'm sure there was like some kind of like cheat code for it, right?
No, not going to do it. So Trump says, okay, good luck. I'm changing the narrative. I'm going to now side with Russia on everything, And now you're going to realize you basically only have one option, and that's to make a deal with me.
It doesn't work
or
anymore.
good luck. Good luck. Zelensky balks at mineral deal if it's repayment for Biden-era aid. A grant is not a debt. So Biden gave him all the money for free, which technically is true. Technically it's true, but Trump is saying, well, either way, we want a return on our investment. So you can sit here and cry, grant, grant, grant. We're still wanting a return on that investment. Zelensky refuses to sign Trump's rare earths deal, but officials say pact is close. U.S. votes against UN resolution condemning Russia's Ukraine invasion. So see, they're changing the entire perspective on it now, and Zelensky is up against the wall. And if Zelensky doesn't have the U.S.'s support, he really has nobody's support. NATO doesn't want to support Ukraine. They're not obligated to. The European people don't want to support Ukraine. Whenever it gets brought up to a vote or a poll or anything, they don't want to support Zelensky. They don't want to support Ukraine. So Zelensky has no options. And Ukraine was just used as a money laundering, weapons laundering operation. The gig is up. There's a new boss in town. He's not laundering money. He's not laundering weapons. He's not playing that game. So Ukraine is now worthless, except for the rare earth minerals. So it's valuable to Russia geographically. It's valuable to Russia historically, culturally. It has no value to Europe. The U.S. pays for NATO anyway, so they don't really care. I guess the value for Europe would be a state, a nation state in between them and Russia. I guess that'd be maybe the only value. The value for the Ukrainian people is almost completely gone. Most of the country has been completely destroyed in the war. Multiple generations of men have been completely murdered, so you've got the Kiev bubble of oligarchs, and that's it. So Zelensky is, the value of Ukraine is gone. The value of Ukraine as a money laundering, weapons laundering operation is gone. The value of it for all its rare earth minerals and resources is pretty much gone because they have no manufacturing ability. Its people have been killed. Zelensky is the desperate man. Trump knows it, and he's either going to get the rare earth deal or he's going to pull out. And good luck to Zelensky then. Russia either takes Ukraine or Zelensky doesn't make it out of there. And if he still thinks he's going to run away to France and get away with all of it, I think he's got another thing coming. I think he's got another thing coming. But here was your bro moment. Trump tells a story from when he was in France, and him and Macron have a little bit of a moment here in clip 3.
I just want to tell you a little story. So we were at the Eiffel Tower having dinner with your wonderful wife and with my wonderful wife, and we came out and he started speaking the French deal. And we didn't have an interpreter, and he was going on and on and on, and I was just nodding, yes, yes, yes. And he really sold me out, because I got back the next day and I read the papers. I said, that's not what we said. He's a smart customer, I will tell you that. That wasn't exactly what we agreed to.
Yeah, Zelensky, you still think you're going to run away to France and have Macron do your bidding? Think again, bud. Think again. I think Trump and old Macron there are pretty close. Pretty close, bud. And, you know, there's another aspect of this that doesn't get talked about, but I think it's extremely valuable. And it doesn't even matter what you think about Macron or his quote-unquote beautiful wife. Trump actually has personal relations with these foreign leaders. Trump actually has a good friendship with these foreign leaders. So
motherfucker isn't
Macron.
building
He could be my
Hogwarts.
least favorite person in the world, but I would still understand the value of Trump having a friendship with these foreign leaders. It is invaluable. It is so important for the U.S. standing in U.S. foreign relations. And you haven't really had that. Maybe there was some of it with Obama, but I don't think anybody trusted Obama by the time he was out. Biden was a walking corpse. So we actually have a president now that makes friends and is friendly and respected and jovial and has good relations, even if there's tough negotiations going on, tough geopolitical issues, foreign policy issues. He's friends with these people. That's a good thing. Doesn't get much play, but it is a very good thing. So I'm very whenever I see Trump glad-handing and smiling and chumming it up with these foreign leaders, however I feel about him, I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to get along with everybody and be friends with everybody, even in intense negotiations. Because at least people respect you and will listen to you. And we get that with Donald Trump. Now, before we come back and get into some of these moves in the administration and in Doge, I think we need, we see whenever Trump plays around in golf, they all freak out. But I think we really probably need at least every other week, maybe, Trump needs to get out and play golf. And I'm serious about that. Trump is working hard. This isn't like lazy Joe Biden taking days off after days off after days off, going on vacation. He couldn't even play golf anyway. They tried to play golf for the cameras. He whacked a ball into the rock and almost came back and knocked him out. Just picking up the club, he almost fainted. Trump needs to be playing golf because it's good for him to get out.
$4,000 PC
get out,
Minecraft is going to fucking crash it.
And it really is just true. Golf is a therapeutic exercise for men. And it's not to say it can't be for women, but any man listening who enjoys golf and has played golf knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's something about it that resets you, re-energizes you, refocuses you. It's the being out in nature. It's the practice of such focus and touch and reading the atmosphere.
Yo, dog, where are you gonna make Hagrid's house,
the
dog?
camaraderie of being out there in the elements. No, Trump needs to be playing golf. I would like to see Trump playing golf at least once a month. At least, maybe twice, honestly. And take the foreign leaders out there and talk on the golf course too. It's good for him. And he is working hard, so he deserves it. But it's actually a health exercise for him.
White House is looking to sell the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building on 7th Street and the century-old building at 50 United Nations Plaza. The Trump administration says it will save money by avoiding maintenance on the buildings, selling the properties, then leasing office space for federal workers. Former Congresswoman Jackie Spears says it's just about vengeance.
You're not even fucking. You just broke your computer.
Sell two prominent federal buildings in San Francisco, including the recently dubbed Nancy Pelosi Federal Building. The Nancy Pelosi Federal Building, a 2-decade-old 18-story tower known as the San Francisco Federal Building until its formal dedication to the former House Speaker in December, sits on Mission and 7th Streets in an area that has been for years plagued by open-air drug dealing, illegal market reselling, stolen goods, and other crime. They also are trying to sell the 1930s era federal building. But why would Nancy Pelosi even have a federal building named after her? And how did Nancy Pelosi get so rich? Wouldn't you like to know? You know who does want to know? Elon Musk. Got so fabulously wealthy off of their couple $100,000 a year government salary. Not anymore. All right, now, some shakeups, if you will, in the administration. Kash Patel confirmed to the FBI director, and so far, not too much movement there, actually, since Patel has been confirmed. And then over the weekend, Donald Trump made this announcement. And part of me thinks this might have already been in the works, and it's what it kind of sounds like based off of the things that Dan Bongino said today, and then some of the things that Dan Bongino said in the past with a wink and a nod. So it looks like this was actually decided some months ago, not just... He makes this announcement, Trump over Twitter. Great news for law enforcement and American justice. By the man who will be the best best director ever, Kash Patel. And then he goes on to his background in law enforcement and education and everything else. He's been with the New York Police. He's been with Secret Service. And now, of course, has his big show, the Dan Bongino Show, which he will be stepping aside from. Working with our great new Attorney General Pam Bondi and Director Kash Patel. Fairness, justice, law, and order will be brought back to America and quickly. Congratulations, Dan. So this is really the biggest stress test, biggest pressure test. And I suppose I suppose we can be patient to a certain degree. But Dan Bongino and Kash Patel have both literally written over the years, and specifically from the Obama administration and the Biden administration. Well documented. They've talked about it. They've written about it. So how can I not have the highest expectations here? Now, again, I'm willing to give some level of patience. They want to go through here, make sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. But how can I not have some pretty big expectations when it's Kash Patel who is doing the interviews, who has written the books, who has talked at length about all the criminals inside of our government, documented it in his books. Same with Dan Bongino. Well documented, well researched, written books on it, done shows on it about all the criminals from the Obama years, the Biden years. These are two guys now at the top of the FBI, the director and the deputy director, who for years have been calling out all the criminals in government by name with the research, all printed, all published, talking about it every day. How can I not have expectations now for there to be arrests, mass arrests? And then, on the other side of that coin, how could I not be severely disappointed if there are no arrests? So no, now I 100% expect there to be arrests. There have to be arrests now. How do you not have arrests? Now, this isn't some judgment of Bongino or Patel, who are obviously two great appointments. I have great expectations. I have very high expectations. These are the type of people we need in there. These are the type of people that will actually restore faith. Actually, American patriots. It's what we need. I'm just sitting here saying, we have to have arrests now. You absolutely have to have arrests now. And in a way, Patel and Bongino have it all on the line here. Because if they're running the FBI and they don't expose these crimes and issue indictments, then, I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? These are two of the biggest names in calling out the corrupt deep state with their books and their shows and their interviews and everything else. And now they're in the position to do something about it. I think it's fair to expect them to do something about it. But it's their reputation. They have built the massive reputation. They have built the massive following. They have built the massive trust. But now they're in a position to actually deliver. So yeah, I do expect there to be arrests. And I think anything less would be a complete failure at this point. So I'm willing to be patient. And I would say the reason we didn't get any movement
you should use
from Patel is
magic.
because he was waiting for Bongino, kind of like Bondi was waiting for Patel. So you're kind of waiting for the team to get assembled. You're waiting for everybody to get on the line of scrimmage, and then you can run the play. And
No, dude, you
clearly to
fucking,
me what's going on
you're
here.
destroying the environment,
Elements and
dog.
pieces they're trying to get on the field. But yeah, I would say now at this point there better be indictments. I am fully. I expect there to be indictments at this point.
Fucking
How can there
environment,
not be?
dude.
Because what can Patel and Bongino possibly tell people now? Oh, we went in there and investigated and found nothing? I don't see that happening. They've already documented all the things in their books. So this is extremely significant. But to me now it's like this is either the realest deal of all time, or we're gonna have the biggest letdown of all time. I'm expecting it realest deal of all time. That's what I'm expecting. And that's saying a lot. But I'm thinking this is the realest deal of all time.
You don't know.
What the process is gonna look like. I don't know how much of it is planned. But now, I mean, more so for Bongino, I think, than Patel, because he's built up such a massive audience on his Rumble show, and he got a bunch of radio stations as well in the last couple of years to syndicate his radio show. So he's got 2 massively successful shows. He's written, I don't know how many books, multiple books. So really, Bongino has just wagered his entire life's work. Really, Bongino has just put all of his chips on the table now. I would say more so than even Cash Patel. But Patel is like, he's all in too. So now both of these men are all in. And they either deliver or lose everything. I don't know. I don't see any other scenario. And eventually, I'm sure Bongino would love to go back to do his show and write books and everything else. But he has to know he must deliver in order to do that, and then be bigger than ever. So that's just kind of my full spectrum analysis. Looking at all of this, this plan was in place for months. They waited for everybody to get into place before they announced it. I don't know if the whole team has been assembled yet, or if they're still waiting for some more people to get on the field. And that's why we don't have the Epstein list and all this other stuff that they promised us day one. I'm willing to have some patience. But to me, this is about as real as it gets. Patel and Bongino as a tag team at the head of the FBI is about as real as it gets. And they've put everything on the line. They've put all their chips on the table. And if they don't deliver at this point, then I mean it's their own reputation. It's their own namesake. And it's not like they're doing this to get rich. I'm sure Bongino is walking away from a lot of money on his show. So to me, this is about as real as it gets, folks. This is about as big as it gets. And I fully anticipate indictments. I don't know how you could have these 2 men in charge and not get indictments. So I fully anticipate indictments to be flying. And it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. And yeah, we can sit here and call out the Democrats and point at the Democrats. This is going to go way beyond the Democrat Party, folks. This is going to go way beyond the Democrat Party. This is everybody in D.C. getting hit at this point now. That's what this is. There's a lot of people
I just can't stand your fucking bullshit.
It all ties into the fraud, waste, and abuse. It's all the same gang. It's all the same political gang that's been.
Yeah, you want some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, dude?
And committing all the crimes, and getting away with it.
Come on now.
And you can see how panicked they are. So what are they going to do? Well, they're going to be attacking Patel and Bongino. It's not going to matter. They're going to be over here panicking over
What'd you have for dinner?
stuff that's getting exposed. Continues to come out. Doge and EPA
Fuck, you bought a steak,
$67
dude?
million in grants for lefty groups pushing Biden's environmental justice mandate. So again, these are just Democrats paying off their friends. They call up their friends. They say, start this company. I've
You
got
ever
$10
oven
million
cook a
for
steak?
you. Just start the company. You immediately get the money. Doesn't even matter what you do after that.
Is that
I'm
what
gonna
you did
invest
this
in your
time?
stock. I'm going to do a quick pump and dump. And we'll all get rich. So that's been stopped. Actually, the number is higher. The EPA and the Elon Musk-led Doge team this week flagged 21 grants totaling $77 million in previously awarded to 20 leftist groups. One of them was called the Sustainable Communities. Sustainable Communities, yes. So this is their big money laundering scheme, their biggest slush fund scheme. This is all of it getting shut down. So they're losing their access to the piggy bank. That's
word on the Lego, dog.
Side of their issues. Now they got Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi who are going to be investigating their potential criminal activities. Like what happened in the Obama administration, specifically. And yes, they do need to go back and investigate that. Doge canceled 95 contracts. These are all available on their website. Anybody can go look at them. 95 contracts.
I just like how you always
$115 million.
fucking, are missing pieces.
Up to $235 million, including 2 USDA contracts. They spent $265,000 for a food and nutrition service 3-day leadership retreat in Atlanta. Oh, a nice little leadership retreat. $30,000 for Malaysia study tour facilitation services. I don't even know what that means. They got a friend in Malaysia, I guess they wanted to give 30 grand to. The NIH currently funds over 400 projects totaling $350 million relating to structural racism.
Oh.
The NIH. $350 million to fight structural racism.
Yo,
you have to wonder,
do that noise again.
How much of this is actually about anything about, let's say, policy or
Dude, that was a funny
social
noise,
issues
man.
with racism? Like fighting structural racism, and then they build a whole system that's inherently racist. But how much of that is just an excuse? How much of that is just a smokescreen to launder a bunch of money to themselves and their friends?
Yo, dog, I'm gonna mail you some pork chops, okay?
Racism. And I've got $350 million at the NIH to
mail you the cream of
fight
mushroom.
racism. Can you build a program for me? I'll give you $10 million for it. And then they all get rich. And do they really care about racism or social issues or anything? Or do they just want the money? Now, you got more information coming up about these judges. One story just broke a couple hours ago about a judge that was on the anti-immigration Biden team, who also gets money on the side for pro-immigration open border issues, who was trying to block the Trump administration in court from deporting. Then you have this. Elon Musk's Doge blocked from accessing sensitive Education Department and OPM records by Biden judge, the most extensive block on Doge's activities yet. The U.S. District Judge Deborah Boardman of Maryland, a Biden appointee, prevented the Education Department of Office and Personnel Management from sharing sensitive information with Elon Musk's Doge, claiming it violates federal privacy laws. Well, they'll lose this case eventually. The continuing unauthorized disclosure of plaintiff's sensitive personal information to Doge affiliates is irreparable harm that money damages cannot rectify, said Judge Boardman in her 33-page ruling, a 2-week restraining order. So is she just trying to serve as an obstacle, or are they trying to hide something? Is it just committing to being an obstacle, a rock in the way, or is it they're trying to hide something and maybe delete something before Doge gets access to it? Fair questions to ask. Fair questions to ask. Now, how does Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, how does he seem to be completely clueless to all of this until today? Can somebody explain that to me? Isn't that amazing? Here's Mike Johnson talking about Doge and how he just somehow had no idea it was like this. Clip 10.
Because even though we requested the data and requested the insight, it was hidden.
How many of you know that bureaucracy was not forthcoming, right? They're not transparent. That's the whole point. That's the problem. That's the deep state that we talk about. So they were hiding from Congress. We didn't know that USAID was funding drag shows in Peru or whatever, you know, transgender operas in Colombia or whatever, you know. It's madness. But Elon has cracked the code. He is now inside the agencies. He's created these algorithms that are constantly crawling through the data, and as he told me in his office, the data doesn't lie. We're going to be able to get the information. We're going to be able to transform the way the federal government works at the end of this, and that is a very exciting prospect.
We didn't know they were taking hundreds of millions of dollars to fund all this garbage. That's quite an admission. I'm not saying he's lying. I believe him. But that is an incredible admission. So it shows you how it all works. He says, oh, deep state. Well, he rubber-stamped the deep state in the last congressional session as speaker. He rubber-stamped all the deep state stuff. So obviously he didn't know. He didn't read it. Nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody sees what's going on. Nobody sees where the money goes. There's no oversight. But what he said was interesting about Elon, because he talks to Elon. He says that he's plugged in these algorithms that just go into the system and go into the data, and they can basically just pump out results. And that's how they're finding all of this stuff. But I guess that's just streamlining it. And he does have like over 100 people that are working with Doge now. But it's basically like you can either have somebody sit through and just go through and comb through all these records and all these numbers, or they have some algorithm that runs through it in a rapid way and then just pumps back things to you that you can see and say, okay, what's this, what's this, what's this? So they've talked about they have forensic auditors and they have algorithms. So I mean, they're really digging into this stuff, and they've only just begun. It's going to be over $1 trillion when it's all said and done. But think about that. The speaker, he says, we had no idea. We had no idea they were taking all this money and just laundering it and wasting it and abusing it. You had no idea, did you? Wow, you had no idea. That's, I think you're being honest, but that's pretty sad, isn't it? That's pretty sad. Nobody knows anything. Now, Kelly Loeffler was appointed head of the Small Business Administration. She showed up at the offices, and here's what she found in clip 16.
Hi, everyone. Kelly Loeffler. It's my second day here at the SBA. I could not be more excited to be here, so I thought I'd take a walk. And what I found is that exactly what's been said is true. About 90% of our employees are working from home. Well, that ends Monday with President Trump's order to return to work. It's a tremendous waste of taxpayer dollars to be paying for people and offices that are not showing up for work. So what we're going to do Monday morning, be back in the office, just like our small businesses that we serve every single day, that work for us 7 days a week. We're going to be here working for them.
Nobody showed up. Nobody's in the office. Isn't that something? Yeah. And then all they want you to do is respond to an email. And they won't even do that. How dare they want us to respond to an email? How dare they ask us what we're doing at work? Somebody has to ask you what you're doing at work. Probably a problem already. That's probably a problem before you're even considering what your answer is, that nobody knows what you do around here. It's like, we got a crew here on the show. It's probably maybe about 5 people on average in any given day. I know what they do. Everybody here knows what everybody does. So if you don't know what your coworker is doing, if you don't know what the people who work with you are doing, well, then I guess, you got a bit of a problem, don't you? And now they're being asked to explain what they do. And they, oh, my God, oh, no. Nobody's ever asked us to work. Nobody's ever asked us to work. This is unbelievable. All you got to do is respond to the email. It's a screening process. It's a head count. Are you here? Bueller? Bueller? Nope, not here. Fired. No more paycheck for you. But see, I think part of it was like, part of the freak out was letting everybody know, like, hey, there's an email. Like, go check your email. You haven't done anything in months. You never check your email. Hey, there's this email going around. You might want to respond to it, you know? I think that was part of it, was just trying to alert everybody that, hey, you better go respond to this email because we know you don't do jack crap around here. And you're going to lose your job if you don't respond. All right, we got more of this as we close out the first hour. But Doge could come down to a state level really soon. Governor DeSantis establishes Florida version of Doge, will cut positions and audit universities.
Is the thing fucking frozen again?
Of it, the initiative aims to sunset 70 state boards and commissions, cut 900 positions, and require independent reviews and audits of universities. The governor indicated that artificial intelligence would be used to assist in achieving the initiative's objectives, particularly in auditing the state university system. I wonder if he's talking to Musk. You know, it was Musk who was originally trying to pump the DeSantis campaign, and remember they had that X Spaces debacle when he was launching. So I wonder if he's not pulling that directly from Musk's operational procedures here. But hey, state level Doge. And now what you're going to see is kind of like, who panics over Doge? Well, the people that are stealing the money. So whatever states don't want to do this, my guess is it's going to catch on fire. And a bunch of Republican-led states are going to say, we're going to have a statewide Doge. And then Democrat states are going to say, no, we don't want a statewide Doge. Oh, of course you don't. And it will be on party lines.
All right, never mind.
And it'll show everybody the Democrats are the corrupt ones. They're the ones stealing money. The Republicans might not be your answer to everything, but at least they're not that corrupt. All right, first hour in the books. Trump's going to Fort Knox, ladies and gentlemen. Could happen any day now. Trump at Fort Knox. Now, remember, if you're listening to this, we rely on your continued support by shopping at thealexjonesstore.com. We appreciate everybody that continues to support us. That's what keeps us on the air. Now, the best way to support us into the future is to go to thealexjonesstore.com/VIP and become a VIP member.
I don't know.
Now, with that membership comes a lot of benefits. When you go to thealexjonesstore.com/VIP, you can see for yourself. But you have monthly membership, advanced notices of promotions and sales, increased entries into all raffle giveaways, like right now, the Ford Raptor Bronco giveaway when you shop at thealexjonesstore.com. That's the best way. It's that sustained membership that funds us into the future, that we can budget this operation into the future when you become a VIP member. So we always want to thank and appreciate all of our VIP members at thealexjonesstore.com/VIP. Now, what's going on at the store? Well, we got a couple exciting things to announce today. Like the free hat is back. That's right. The free hat limited offer is back when you shop at thealexjonesstore.com. Pull up the screen on the store there. I think I know what hats we're giving away with these orders, but I want to make sure. I think it's so with orders over $50, I believe it's the Black InfoWars hat. Is that the one, guys? Do you know? I believe the Black InfoWars hat is the free hat you will receive. We'll get the official hat up on the screen for you. But you have 3 days. This special lasts for 3 days. So you have 3 days to take advantage of the free hat offer when you shop and make a purchase of over $50 at thealexjonesstore.com. So it can be the supplements, it can be the other hats, the hoodies, the T-shirts, the knives collection that we have, the limited edition silver coins, all of it qualifies. So when you purchase over $50 at thealexjonesstore.com, you get a free hat, and you also get raffle entries into the Ford Raptor Bronco giveaway, plus $10K cash. So that's what's going on right now at thealexjonesstore.com. And remember, it is your support there that keeps us on the air. All right, quickly, let's just do this here. Remember this? This is actually an all-time from Trump. This is an all-time great, and everybody kind of saw it and laughed at it and strong. But I don't think we truly appreciated. This is easily top 10 Trump. Scolding the governor of Maine, Janet Mills, here in clip 2.
Man, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you
Is 5, and that is the default in creative 4, so keep that in mind. So next you can either type in your name or just add P, both will work. And then there's two different attributes you can change. So the first which is called block interaction range, that is this one right over here. And if we just type in get, this will get us our current block interaction range. And if you do that, it says that my current block interaction range is 5. And that is the default in creative mode. If we switch over to survival mode and then try this again, you will see that now our block interaction range is 4.5 blocks. So that means that we can actually reach a block that is 4.5 blocks away from us, just like this. And now to actually change this value, what you want to do is instead of typing in get at the end of this command, change that to base and then set, just like this. And then you can set it to any value you want. Now this will be the value you have in survival mode, and in creative mode it will always be 0.5 higher. So let's say we want to set it to 100, that is possible. So now our block interaction range is actually 100 blocks. So that means that we can be 0.5. Is 5, and that is the default in creative mode. If we switch
Holy shit. Hold on.
You don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Now, more comes out about Janet Mills. Now, if you take a look at this picture right here, guys, it's kind of curious, and you think, well, what's going on with that? How many transgenders are already in politics that we don't know about? Well, here's Janet Mills dancing at a trans drag show. Go ahead and show me that, guys. I believe that's clip 5. Yeah, clip 5 for me here. Yeah. Janet Mills, Chuck Schumer's wife, Michelle Obama. I mean, have there been trannies running around our political scene for years? How many of them are closet transsexuals? It couldn't be Janet Mills, though, in a Wonder Woman suit. So all this complaining that we hear from supporters and members of the Biden administration, Democrats, about this unprecedented access that Doge is getting. Unprecedented. Well, is it so unprecedented? But McDonald's seems to think not so much after what he discovered here in clip 9.
This is the kind of stuff they're so upset to the Internal Revenue Service data into the Treasury payment system, but there's a report that came out the other day that under Joe Biden, he let 53 researchers and students, unpaid people, go in and actually have full access to the data of the American people at the IRS. Joe Biden's administration let that happen. So they have no problem with the waste and the fraud and the abuse as long as their special interest groups are being funded and their ideology is being promoted regardless of the will of the American people.
How about that? How about that? Every single time, isn't it? Every single damn time. It was Hillary Clinton that colluded with the Russians in the 2016 election cycle. So they blame Trump. Elon Musk is getting unprecedented access to the IRS. Well, Joe Biden gave the same access. Every single time. Whatever they accuse you of, they are guilty of. That's a safe bet. I'd say 98% of the time, that's a safe bet. Good numbers. Speaking of numbers, they're bad and getting worse for the Democrats as a party. And any new poll that comes out shows that their trust is slipping. It shows that the people view their policies as no longer popular or a policy they want to support. And this is, it's kind of a slow trickle, but people have been leaving the Democrat Party for years, and now they've just become so unhinged that it's not stopping. So Democrat pollsters are starting to be honest, and they're saying, look, these numbers here are bad. We saw the poll last week. Do you remember the number, guys? It was like from Democrat voters that were polled had their approval rating of the Democrat Party as a whole at 40%. Might have been less. That's of Democrat voters. So even their own voters are sick of them. So here's a big Democrat pollster breaking this down. It's bad news. The numbers are coming in, and it's all bad news for the Democrats here in clip 18.
Mark Penn joining us, co-director of that polling. Mark, good to have you. Just a minute here or so. What really jumped out at you from your new polls?
Well, a couple of things. First, 58% said Trump is doing a better job than Biden. I think in retrospect, they're looking at Biden as even worse than the 40% rating. And second, vast approval for closing the border, for implementing policies to cut waste, cut $1 trillion, move to a balanced budget, 70, 80% approving that policy. And third, Democrats have taken a nosedive here. In retrospect, they are looking worse and worse, drifting, lowest ratings I've ever seen for them, frankly.
Yeah, just a couple seconds here, but the common sense theme seems to be pervasive in the positive polling that you point to.
Oh, absolutely, because I think you're seeing approval on most of the policies. Look, 52 is not 60 or 70, but I think the public is cautiously being won over by what he's doing. They see the comparison to Biden. They like a lot of the policies. Not everything. Gulf of America didn't go over that well. But
I disagree.
They are seeing a better
I must
economy and getting
contest.
more optimistic about the country. He's got a ways to go up. I think this could just be the beginning if he continues to run the administration as well as the start here.
It's fascinating to watch. It seems like maybe 52 is the new 60 or 70 in polling because we don't see that many big numbers anymore. Mark, thank you very much. Great to have you with us, Mark.
Wait. Gulf of America, not that popular? Let's just say that that's true. What does that represent? What does that represent? That Gulf of America is unpopular amongst Democrats. So they poll Democrats and they say, okay, we like DOGE, we like showing the fraud, waste, and abuse. We like that. Okay, we like some of these other policies. We like not all the illegal immigrants coming in. Okay, yeah,
It's
all
not
right. Good stuff.
safe, dog.
Gulf of America. I can't stand for that. What does that represent? It represents their deep-rooted hatred of the United States of America. Just like Jasmine Crockett said last week, I'm rooting for Mexico. I'm rooting for Canada. These are not American patriots.
How are you going to build it?
These are not proud Americans. They hate America.
Are you doing it by just like
racism,
your own interpretation,
slavery, and
or are you looking at like pictures
and oppression and everything else? That's what they see. That's what they feel. So Gulf of America, they hate
us. A fucking
amazing.
amazing.
It's sad. They've been propagandized. They've been indoctrinated into these feelings, into these beliefs that are illegitimate. It's just a reflection of who they are. But that's what why would Gulf of America, first of all, it's the most inconsequential thing. It's the name of a body of water. So it's really the most inconsequential thing he's doing, but that's the one that offends me the most. It's because they hate America. They see that name and they, the nerve. It's actually really telling, isn't it? Very telling. Now, some big investments coming in that Trump has gotten business deals done. Apple unveils historic $500 billion investment in U.S. manufacturing and innovation, says it's bullish on the future. Apple's announcement comes after President Trump said he met with the company's CEO, Tim Cook. Apple Intelligence has the ability to tap into the revenue stream of physical goods and services. But so this is what we need. We need manufacturing back. And they're going to be building a lot of it in Texas here as well. Yeah, we got to keep, unfortunately, it's just true. It's not even that I want to see the states fail. It's just true. You're going to have to build these in red states. You're going to have to build these in red states. Because you're just going to get crushed in blue states, unfortunately. So, yeah, you're going to have to build them in Texas and maybe the Midwest. $500 billion into the U.S. economy over the next 4 years. Construction of new AI server manufacturing factory near Houston. Doubling advanced manufacturing fund. Opening a new Apple manufacturing academy in Detroit. Hiring an additional 20,000 people. Expanding teams and facilities in 9 states. Now, this is me. Let me just theorize here. Let me just have a little fun with this here for a second. And as long as I'm a results-based guy. As long as the results are good, I'm not like all in, like, oh, you know, the ends justify the means. But I'm very much a results-based person. So just give me the results. But I can't help but wonder how Trump is able to do some of this. Is it really just influence? Is it really just personality? I mean, how is it that he can reverse all the trends that we've seen, which is getting manufacturing out, making it advantageous and sexy for all these big companies to invest and go anywhere else but the United States of America? How has Trump been able to bring it back? I mean, really? He just says, hey, I'd like you to do this here, and they just do it? Really? Or maybe, and this is me putting on a tinfoil hat. I just can't help it. But I wonder how this process goes down. What if maybe Trump had some dirt on these guys? I wonder how you would feel about this. What if Trump had some dirt on these guys and said, you know, I really wouldn't like this to come out, really, you know, and neither would you. So we can keep this between us. People don't need to know.
Player will be there.
Ultra.
Drop
all
10
six
for
segments
guys.
complete in
Guys
round
fixing
one.
the morale of this team.
Ultra's
Remember
just
when they lost
shooting
out in the
right
winners
now.
final during chance?
Joe
We'll be back
gets
to
10 in
five.
the first round of
You think
control.
guys
There
just
was a
five?
handful of lives that were left for Optic.
I think that guy's right.
Number 11, four in a row for Joe DeCease.
I think you're right. Caesar survived me. They're 4 dead.
Absolutely no individual gunfights go through again. I mean, Ultra's just gunning Optic.
I mean, this is the Toronto Ultra spawn trap. This is the shit that we watched 10 times this year. That for some reason they decided to play the map.
We got 2 plays going
And
middle,
it's a
2
double
plays
pinch.
going B
Jamie gets
street.
1. Jamie gets 2. He had a pistol.
Now you have insight even with the pistol, still contesting over towards gold. Not a single segment earned on a side Optic Texas. They are working their way through Top Cat.
2 dead.
3 dead.
Stack.
Yeah, that'll work. Insight, really no chance to challenge from at least this position. Just gonna hold on to top gold. Shotzi, the one making sure he doesn't rotate out, or at least trying to get the information on him.
Snake cat.
As here come Ultra trying to lead.
I'm pulling for the boys, dude.
2 ticks of progress in. Shotzi
Snake
shuts
cat.
down the pitch and
Yup, trade. Yup, I got vault. They're scamming.
Joe does find 2.
Yes.
Just nowhere to go as Shotzi finishes the kill. An extra 60 seconds come through. The chance to transition to B.
Okay, Joe's scamming. Get across, Ant. Get across. Yes.
Can he get over
Don't
towards his
scam.
position? Forcing to focus him, and when he does, a teammate over the top, baby. You gotta love it. The communication on the side of Optic Texas is definitely clicking.
Can you guys hit it 2 times? I'm
Stabilize on
a
the
little behind.
You do get Fred to still play through vault stairs, but he is the furthest Optic member forward.
Chat, can I get a wall
Ultra.
please? Thank you.
Putting the pressure on around the middle and
Check,
through
I get a wall.
pool. Plenty of time for Optic to work with here, but this next break off needs to be clean. Fred finding the space to get on the zone, puts the pressure on the clock, but Joe DeCease still finds elimination. That's 3 dead. Shotzi, a bit of an island here. Saw Joe towards vault
Go,
stairs.
hide in a
Instead
corner,
tries to
run
play
for your
over
life,
towards
man,
top
or
side
just go
of
chow
RD's been
again,
seen,
or
and
just
Joe
go
finds the
chow
kill.
one
It's all
shot.
over net.
Chow one shot.
Who fucking
Now you're
cares?
down by
Just go
5
do whatever
lives,
you
a
want.
minute left to work with.
There you go, AG.
You just saw winning some gunfights. Prez opens up with a double.
So now you can approach through that front angle. Kleenex trying to work the pinch. He at least finds one on the Kenny. Don't tell me on the minimap he's about to turn on the Shotzzy. But Pred goes back to at least help his teammate out. Yep.
Take the map. Take them. Go forward. Go block the spawn. Go block the spawn.
First take the life to come through.
Why? Go block the spawn.
Looking good until they don't. Kleenex lines up both, finds both kills.
That's actually so
Reduce
good.
this now to an 11v6. Shotzzy
Oh, I
outside
play
the realms,
ranked
nowhere to
all
go there.
day,
Another
and
individual
I
play that
know.
gets completely shut down, and Ultra now have the zone completely in their hands.
And this is the last push. 30 seconds to go. You don't really have a position to play trades if you are Optic. Kleenex strikes for the first inside fly zone, then Bean finds a third. Last player alive is Kenny. Yeah, so many players from Ultra all surrounding him. And that is going to be Ultra, giving up 4 segments, but up 2-0 on the map.
It's a beautiful day. I'm looking for something dumb to do.
Dude.
I'm telling you.
Hey, baby.
How does this happen? I mean, I remember
like,
having the
we're
exact
not
same
even
reaction
doing,
last year
like, the-
into Major
we're not-
4, where it's just like, what do you mean? Like, this team is...
Bro, it's not like the game. Dude, it's not like the game is different from the major or from online and that. Like when they were good, the game's the same. Nothing has changed. Where did like the hey, this was working a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago? Now it's just a bad. Where did that go?
Like if you're the player farthest
Where did it
pushed on
go?
out, I potentially catch a timing.
You were not blocking a B spawn on Vault Control? That's gone?
They're black
Keep
now.
on getting sniffed out.
Like, dude, that's fucking Black Ops 6 101.
At the B point to sneak his way in towards R.
I'm not gonna comment, but
I mean, Shelly, you know that. You're in Crimson. You know. Oh my fucking
They
god.
find a clean 4 dead. Optic, what are we doing?
I don't know, bro. 5 and 15 for Kenny.
Oh
just
my
continues
God.
to be the butt end of a lot of the hatred that's come through about what's going wrong with this Optic squad right now. First tick at B is done, second on the way. At least Shotzi's cleared off the A zone.
We're flying off
on
the top
A. Neutrality almost gets a chance at the 1v1 with Kenny.
This is a
Second
clown
tick.
fiesta.
Really not a lot of progress been done to it here, so even though it's been a messy break-off, Optic have at least kept this clock ticking for now.
right.
Yeah, but Ultra just trying to do the hard
can't even
thing
drop a
first and
0.8,
take care of
bro.
this B
Like-
point. At least put a lot of focus on that side of the map. So Optic
It's all
instantly off the
bad. It's
rotation,
all
off the
bad.
respawn, had to
Everything is
rotate their way
bad.
back over towards B Street to contest.
It's all
But
so
first segment
bad.
at A
Bro, Optic
guaranteed.
can't win a
The
fight.
entire
They can't win a
beat is currently
gunfight,
lining up
dude.
white.
It's all
And I know for all
so
the Greenwall fans that are thinking, dude, Kenny's had 7 and 17. His stat line has absolutely nothing to do with the way that they're playing as a team. I'm sick of him getting isolated of he's like the guy that you have to put all the blame on. No,
Dude, I
the way
think
that
they
they're
just need a
playing
roll swap.
as a collective unit is abysmal.
Yeah. I mean, there is a level of everyone individually is also just getting smoked. Like,
Insects
there
running
is
out with a
something
sub.
where the numbers
Bro,
don't
like
lie, but,
that right there.
I mean, this is
You
straight-
have nobody
this is
involved.
BTA series,
You have
if you don't know
zero
what that stands
idea
for.
that you haven't cleared it at all, and there's just not a single thought in Brandon's head that like, yo, there could
19
be
points,
somebody
12
in there.
minute 35 at the clock. Optic
Like
with a
they're,
couple of
they're
nice
not even
eliminations through
looking
mid.
for gunfights
We'll
in
give
the
them a
right
chance
spots.
here to
They
at least
don't know where
control
anybody
most
is.
of this B street.
They have no
gotta get out of
fucking
your
clue where
swamp.
people are gonna be.
Kills go your way
Oh,
safely.
shit
Shots
on,
take
but they have
the
no
ball.
fucking clue.
Oh,
Four dead. They have no clue where
that.
people are gonna be.
Clean 4 dead.
A lot of man.
Do something with it. 4 dead. Do
Clean
something.
corners, make them run into you,
Brandon's
make it
just
more
squaring up on the
difficult for
street.
Ultra
He's just
to exit.
squaring up for no reason.
Well,
Oh my
Red tries
God.
to take away space. That's shut down. Shotzi
This
now
is,
going to be
Optic
red
slowly
as he
losing
was
their
pushing
lives,
forward
bro.
with Pred at the same time.
That's a big kill from Dean.
Isolation is good. That's now 3 dead.
So they went from a 4 dead.
Are you really the last person to find out about this Skip Ads Forever button? This is Pi, and if it sounds familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen their ads.
Then not
And more
getting a kill in the
importantly,
respawn.
they've got some ground to work with. Kleenex holding towards square, just making to these players top.
Oh,
Art, feel the pressure. Even worse when
End the
Dashy
map,
gets
bro.
gunned like that.
Genuinely,
But
I don't wanna watch
Ultra
this
not
anymore.
able to
Get this shit
provide
off
at
my
least
screen.
support onto the zone
Yeah,
as
no
of
lies.
yet.
This is
13
over.
playing
Optic
safe.
This is
have no
dead.
lives.
This is dead.
6v13, you can put the game clock at a pause with someone just
Bro, they don't know where
simply
anyone is. I'm sorry. They don't know where
Focus
anybody on the
trying
map
to turn
is.
this into TDM if you are Ultra. Just need to put someone on the
They
game.
don't know where
on the
anybody
point.
is.
The game clock is paused, but Optic is so tight on their setup at R.
It's 10 and 21, man.
Kenny dropped it.
Oh my God. Holy fuck. This guy just had the best series of the year.
Yeah, no.
I think Joe actually just had the best.
He did.
I think he dropped it too. I'm pretty sure he dropped it too.
do they go from being the team that's sitting here saying we feel so confident in our gameplay, we're going to stream all of our scrims and still wipe the forward teams?
Hey.
Get essentially whooped. And since then, it's a single win versus LA.
Do we, bro? Do we? Oh my god. This guy tweeted and everything is wrong. He tweeted and it's all wrong.
This is insane, man. They don't have a single map. I mean,
They don't have a
world champion roster last season. Like,
they don't have a singular map.
But it's just like watching them play this game the way they do. Right next door in about a week or two.
All right. Let's see here. Shoestring, thank you, buddy. Optic Challengers team not looking good. Thank you, Alvaro. Subway Surfers. Optic get punished for breaking GAs. Fatty for Kenny. Okay. This is how Paris fans felt for 3 years, probably. Kendall's poster was more interesting than this match. Thank you, buddy. Crash Out deserves a dono. Good shit, Sam. I'm trying. Thank you so much. Raven, thank you.
Here's a wand with a silencer on it. Why? But I ask again, why? Dime bag of pixie dust? Psst, contraband. Wizard pepper. Unbelievable. Now knock it off! All the stupid ass, grab ass, and touchy-feely bull. I told you they was rotten.
Ergorotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million filthy muggles in the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. You know, an argument can be made that the last beloved intellectual property left standing that hasn't been vandalized beyond all recognition is Harry Potter. And despite the setbacks, for me anyway, of the god-awful stage play that nobody really counts as canon and the diminishing returns of the Wizarding World movie series, that largely had to do with recasting Johnny Depp and it not being centered in Hogwarts, the brand has not only survived, it's thrived. And it's done that through J.K. Rowling's supposed controversial but yet common sense statements on one single issue that I happen to agree with. Multiple versions of her books are selling like crazy, there's a best-selling video game out there, and everyone loves Universal's Wizarding World. And unlike Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, it's successful because of its attention to detail and its respect for the lore. That's why a lot of fans were cautiously optimistic when they heard that HBO was going to be doing a series that Casey Bloys says is going to be a faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's novels that will dive deep into each of the iconic books. And I said at the time, this has the potential to be the biggest series in the world by far if it is indeed adapted faithfully, and it all depends on the casting. Well, so much for the Harry Potter show. Because Snape is black, and the only question I have at this point is, are we still doing this?
No more questions. Don't ask any more questions.
Now, this rumor floated around about 3 months ago, and at the time, everybody was collectively hoping it wasn't true, but it looks like it is. Harry Potter, Janet McTeer in negotiations to play McGonagall, have no problem with that casting. Papa Essiatu, near deal to play Snape in HBO series. I have to say, the resemblance is uncanny. Forgive me for stating the obvious, but Snape is white. Best part of this is there's going to be people, particularly on Reddit, who say, I'm racist for calling this out because I'm white. So it looks like we're still doing this. Again, I have no problem with the Janet McTeer casting as McGonagall because she looks like McGonagall. I have a problem with the Papa Essiatu casting as Snape because he doesn't look like Snape. I know full well J.K. Rowling signed off on this decision, and as far as that faithful adaptation is concerned,
This is a lie.
And it appears that gaslighting casting is still on the menu, boys. You can say you're taking the DEI out of your industry, but it appears you can't take your industry out of the DEI. Now, if anyone is under the illusion or delusion that this casting was based on merit, well, this is from the article. With the HBO series, the Harry Potter franchise continues to build a more inclusive and racially diverse universe, an effort that started with the casting of Black Hermione in that awful stage play. It is something another popular fantasy franchise, The Lord of the Rings Prime, also embarked on when transitioning, that's a really good description, to the small screen with the Amazon series. First off, there's better examples of race swaps that have actually worked that we'll get to, but bringing up the Rims of Power is the worst argument you can make. It's the biggest, most expensive flop of all time, and the fact that they continue making it just proves there's a bunch of idiots in charge of a lot of money in Hollywood. It's also the single best example of casting based on identity over authenticity, which was a giant red flag for every Tolkien fan out there, showing them how much Amazon was going to respect the lore, which was not at all. And it looks like it's not going to be any different here. And as far as Harry Potter not being inclusive or racially diverse, that couldn't be further from the truth. Dean Thomas, Lee Jordan, the Patil twins, Cho Chang, and a character who I think Papa Asiato would be perfect for, Kingsley Shacklebolt. He would have an expanded role, and he eventually becomes Minister of Magic. But since this isn't our first rodeo, let's just cut the BS here. We all know why Papa Asiato, who I've got nothing personally against, was cast. It was, again, based on identity over authenticity. It's the same old, going back to the Ghostbusters 2016 marketing technique. This is equivalent to releasing a disco movie in 1987. Controversy creates trends. Trends get more eyes across social media on your TV show because there's no such thing as bad press. Except that's not entirely true, because if it were, The Acolyte would have been the biggest show of all time and gotten multiple seasons. And the data is in. Tell me, how has this philosophy worked out for Disney, Star Wars, Star Trek, the MCU, the Rings of Power, Doctor Who, Star Trek, hell, Hollywood? So the next phase of this will take us into very familiar territory. The parsing words, playing semantics, moving goalposts, mental gymnastics, revisionist history portion of this controversy. Now, we saw this a lot with the Rings of Power, and again, it's going to be no different here. There's the good old, this character was not described as specifically white in the books. I mean, aside from the fact that it actually does, but coincidentally enough, my good friend Ryan decided to respond to Ryan. Now, both of us have read the books a lot, and I found Ryan's reply to Ryan to be quite succinct and eloquent, but allow me to expand on it a bit. Because as Ryan Kinnell correctly points out, Snape is described multiple times in the book, something you would know if you had read him. Here's just a few examples.
Snape's sallow skin had gone the color of sour milk.
I am, said Snape. He looked slightly paler than usual, and his cold black eyes glittered strangely.
Taxes was feeling so...
Snape looked paler than usual and angrier. He closed his eyes, and suddenly he was Voldemort, looking into Snape's pale face.
And Snape's face was like a death mask. It was marble white.
And let's not forget the sketch of Snape illustrated by J.K. Rowling, where she says, and I quote, "Snape as I always saw him." Then there's going to be the whataboutisms comparing the race swap of Snape to other race swaps in other completely unrelated stories without considering context, variables, or nuance, which admittedly is the internet. Now, just going off the top of my head, one that I was skeptical about that actually worked was Corlys Velaryon in House of the Dragon, and while he is important to the story, Corlys is no Snape. There's Jeffrey Wright in The Batman. He didn't do a disservice to the Commissioner Gordon character, but that movie did make 30% less than The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises and $100 million less than Batman vs. Superman. Lawrence Fishburne was a good Perry White. The late great Michael Clark Duncan played a very passable version of the Kingpin in Daredevil, but we all know why Vincent D'Onofrio's version was better in the Netflix show, because he looks and acts more like the character from the comics. Everybody loves Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, something that was established in the comics many years ago, until they decided to have his eye gouged out by a kitty cat and completely destroy him in Secret Invasion by having him marry a Skrull to be a transmission allegory.
Well, how about that?
Yet all of those are better examples than the Rings of Power. I think the closest comparison you can make as far as this not working to this situation on a much lower level is the race swapping of Death in Sandman. And what happened? It barely eked out a second season that, despite the author's trouble, was going to get canceled anyway. And did that casting in some way play a part in that show not being received as well as Netflix wanted it to be? Absolutely yes. Will the casting of a Black Snape affect the enthusiasm, potential ratings over the long term, potential earnings, and potential merchandise sales? Absolutely yes, because I can promise you, just like with the Sandman fans, except with the Harry Potter fandom, it's orders of magnitude larger. The vast majority are not going to be down with this, whether they want to admit it or not. To sum it up, you can bring up all the whataboutisms in the world, but just talking dollars and cents, this is an absolutely stupid business decision. You could have race swapped a lot of other characters, but not Snape. So let me get this straight. Harry Potter, one of the best-selling book series in the world, one of the highest-grossing movie series in the world, needs to virtue signal to bring in the mythical modern audience? Well, I hate to break this to one of America's dumbest corporations, Warner Brothers, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's call it what it is. This diversity hand-me-down is going to cost you a large portion of the audience that you paid to have access to. And don't even get me started on the issues this is going to create thematically, including but not limited to Sirius Black and James Potter being racist. I guess they won't be remaking that scene where James Potter hangs a black Snape by his trousers under a tree. And just to hammer this home, because I don't think Warner Brothers or anybody else in Hollywood is listening, identity doesn't put butts in the seats. Authentic storytelling does. And it's one thing to make Snape a black dude, and it's another thing to make him a GQ model, and I'd be saying the same thing about a white guy. But what about makeup? Well, what about it? Using the identity politics mindset, you just put a hook-nosed ugly guy out of work. Only hook-nosed ugly people should play hook-nosed ugly people. On that note, some of you might correctly point out that Colin Farrell did indeed steal ugly people work for Penguin. Fair enough. Let's take Papa Esiato, put some white makeup on him, give him a hook nose and a straight black hair wig, and let's see what happens. It's just crazy enough to work. But in all seriousness, since HBO already set the precedence of hiring an American actor with John Lithgow as Dumbledore, which is good casting, then why not go with the smart and on the very large nose casting of Adam Driver? And finally, this brings us to the it doesn't matter argument. This is just a fictional character. All right, if it doesn't matter, let's go all the way. Give that 42-year-old dude who tried out for Hermione the gig. Hell, give it to Jason Isaacs. He's expressed interest.
I'm hoping to come back as Hermione. I sent my audition tape in, and I've yet to hear.
Why don't we make John Lithgow a trans Dumbledore, because he played a trans character in World According to Garp, which might have had something to do with his casting. No! Yes. But on the other hand, if it doesn't matter, then just keep Snape white.
Nerderotic.com.
If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.